Welcome to the Click podcast. I'm Dani Watson, a mindset and manifestation expert and founder of The Click, a company that helps women overcome their fears and limiting beliefs to create a life and business that they love. Within this podcast, I will help you get clear on what you want, identify the blocks that are holding you back, transform your mindset and raise your vibration so that you can co-create magic with the universe. If you are looking to design a life that truly sets your soul on fire and manifest more success and abundance, then you are in the right place. Hello ladies, and welcome to part 3 of the Transform Your Money Mindset series. So in parts 1, I gave you a bit of an overview about what money mindset is all about and how transforming your mindset and your beliefs and your energy around money can actually help you change your financial reality. In part 2, we started to look at how your beliefs and your energy can impact your financial reality and things you can start to do to change your beliefs and change your energy so that you can start manifesting more money into your life. Now for this episode, I want to dive into the other missing pieces to the puzzle, which is taking inspired action. So how to actually take action towards your money goals that actually keeps you in alignment. And then also how to surrender to the universe. So how to actually completely let go of your financial goal, which to be honest is probably the thing that people find the most challenging when it comes to manifesting money. They struggle to believe that the money is on their way and so find themselves working harder, doing more, showing up more to create the money. They feel like they are the only ones responsible for manifesting money, forgetting that actually manifesting is a process of co-creation. You do your part and the universe is also going to show up and do its part as well, but only if you give the universe space. And when we don't surrender, when we don't hand our trust over to the universe and surrender to the process, completely letting go, trusting what we want is on the way, we don't give the universe space to work its magic. Okay, so these are some of the topics then that I want to tap into in this final Transform Your Money Mindset episode. So let's start then with taking inspired action. You cannot sit in an empty room and just believe all of these wonderful things about money and have this really positive frequency and then just expect lumps of money to just drop into your lap. Sadly, it does not work that way. And I think this is where people read books such as The Secret and got it all wrong. They kind of believed that, oh, well, if I just think positive thoughts, I'm going to have a positive life. If I just think thoughts about money, money is going to show up. And for the most part, it doesn't work like that. We have to be taking some sort of action. But the action has to be inspired. It has to be action that leaves us feeling good. It has to be action that keeps us in alignment. Because let's think about what we've worked on so far. One of the things has been raising our frequency, raising our vibrational frequency so that we can attract more money. What we're going to do if we start taking action that is out of alignment, action that makes us feel exhausted, burned out, action that we just don't really love doing, when we start to do those things, all of that work we've done to raise our frequency becomes undone because we're then lowering our frequency again by taking uninspired action. So how I typically see this play out, and this is where actually taking inspired action and surrendering are very closely linked, because how I see this slipping into uninspired action, how I see this typically play out is when women start to take inspired action. So let's say, for example, it's in their business, they're taking lots of inspired action and it feels fun and it feels creative and it feels joyful. And then all of a sudden, they start to worry because they're taking action, but they're not getting immediate results. And so then they start to worry that, well, maybe the money isn't going to come. Maybe I'm not going to get paid for clients. Maybe, this isn't working for me. Maybe the universe isn't responding to me. They start to doubt that things are working and therefore find themselves slipping into uninspired action by hustling, working really, really hard, putting so much energy in, trying to force things to happen. And typically, this actually pushes their desires and the money further away from them. So we're going to come into this idea of surrender in a second, but let's just think about inspired action. Like, what does that inspired action actually look like? Well, as I said, it's going to be the things that feel joyful for you, the things that feel expansive, the things that feel exciting, the things where you feel like you are living your purpose, where it's not feeling like so much like you're having to really try hard and force things to happen. You're just allowing things to happen. That's what inspired action feels like. And we need to remember, actually, I think this is a really good exercise for understanding where the responsibility for taking action falls on our part and where it falls on the responsibility of the universe. So we have to remember that manifesting money, it's not just about what we do. Sometimes we assume too much of the responsibility. We think, oh, well, what do I need to do? I have to do this to create more money in my life. Forgetting that the universe is also going to show up and is going to provide us with people, opportunities, experiences, things that are designed to support us in reaching our goals, that are designed to support us in getting to the financial outcome we desire. So we need to remember that this responsibility, for taking action, it doesn't fall just on our shoulders alone. We can take the action that feels good to us, but then we have to remember that the universe is also going to step in as well. So an exercise I actually really love to get our students to do is, it's actually an exercise from the book Leveraging the Universe by Mike Dooley, where he invites you to draw a triangle on a piece of paper. So take an A4 piece of paper and have it portrait, so lengthways, and draw a big triangle on the piece of paper. And then you're going to draw a line right through the center of your triangle. And at the top of your triangle, you're going to write the word or the desire that you're looking to manifest. Okay, so if we're talking about money here, it might be a specific sum of money that you are looking to manifest into your life. And then on the left-hand side of the triangle, you are going to write down all of the inspired action steps that you could do that would help you achieve that goal. So it might be things you could do within your business that feel really fun to you. It could be people that you could connect with that could help you achieve that financial goal, different projects you could get yourself involved with, all of the things that feel really fun and inspiring to you. So you'd write all of those things down on the left-hand side of the triangle. Then on the right-hand side of the triangle, what you would do is write down all of the little miracles that could happen along the way that could also allow you to reach your desired financial goal. So again, it's about understanding that the responsibility is not on our shoulders alone. So things like for making money, you could, in your side of the triangle, it might be, let's say you're a business owner, you might write down all of the things that are just fun in your business that you love doing, that could help you bring in clients, that could help you generate more sales within your business. And on the right-hand side of the triangle, you could think of other ways that money could magically show up in your life. So it might be that somebody, you win some money. It could be that a client just, pops out of the woodwork. It might be that you bump into somebody randomly and, they say to you, oh, I've got this amazing opportunity for you that I'd love for you to be involved in, and it's going to bring this amount of money into your life. It could be money can come into our lives through a variety of different sources, through, a multitude of different ways. And when we forget that our role is to take inspired action, we sometimes find ourselves assuming too much of the responsibility and slipping into that uninspired action because we believe it's more about what we need to do, forgetting about all of these little miracles and synchronicities that we could witness when we allow the universe to work its magic. So taking inspired action then, is more about going with the flow, with the action steps that you are taking, rather than trying to force things to happen. And again, this is where inspired action and surrendering really kind of are very much intrinsically linked, because surrender is all about allowing things. It's about trusting that you're being supported by the universe and allowing things to happen for you rather than trying to force things. And when I typically see inspired action turn into uninspired action, this normally happens when women do try and force things. So maybe they will be doing a certain task, but they will try and force it to happen in a certain way, or they will try and force the outcome of a certain task. They will come into the energy of a task that they need to do from a place of, I need to do this so that it helps me achieve this outcome. Let me give you an example here just to explain the point. So one of the things that we do is we support women in growing a successful coaching business. And a big part of attracting clients is about getting visible. It's about putting yourself out there. It's about putting your message out there, about adding value into people's lives to get the attention of your ideal clients. And often what we see is women coming into this exercise from a place of, I need to take this action so that I can get a client. And so they almost are trying to force a certain outcome rather than just showing up, taking inspired action, having fun with the process, having, fun, sharing content and adding value. Rather than doing that, they're very much attached to, well, what is this going to lead to? And of course, in that place of, what is the outcome here? When you are attached to that outcome, when you're trying to force a certain outcome, it often means that you're not then fully taking that inspired action, because there's an element of force and pushing behind it. So it's not going to feel as fun. It's almost going to feel like a bit of a chore that you've got to do. I need to do this so that I can get the result that I want. You're doing it that way and therefore blocking the actual desired outcome you want to happen from happening. And I see this happening so often. Women slipping into this uninspired action on the basis that they're pushing for things, forcing for things. They're taking the joy out of the action because they're so focused on the outcome. They're so focused on the end goal. Whereas if you switch your energy to being of service, how can I come into this task? Not for what it's going to allow me to achieve, not for the financial goal that I hope that I will reach through doing this task, but how can I come into this task having as much joy from giving value as possible? How can I be of service? I am having fun helping others. I'm having fun sharing my message. I'm having so much fun creating content and showing up. And I'm having so much fun that I'm completely detached from what it will or not, allow me to achieve financially. And that's when you keep yourself in that inspired action. Now, this element of surrender then, we have to be taking the inspired action and we have to completely surrender to the how and the when the money will come. So again, we detach from the outcome, we detach from when it's going to happen and how the money is going to show up. So again, this is us doing our part of the triangle, taking all of that fun, inspiring action, but then understanding that the money could show up from a multitude of different ways. So let's say we are spending time, creating lots of content and we're putting it out on Instagram. It might be that we happen to just go to the shops one day and we randomly bump into somebody who is our ideal client and we get chatting with them, and the next thing you know, we're exchanging details and they decide to work with you. That might be an instance that you've perhaps not contemplated. That is the universe sending you a gift. We have to be open to these types of experiences. Or it might be that the money comes from a different source. It might be that one day, you realize that you've ended a competition months and months ago and you get a notification saying that you won that competition and the money that you were looking to manifest came through a different means. So whilst we can have some idea of, how we might think things are going to play out, we have to be, unattached to that idea. We have to understand that it's not Our role isn't to know how and when things will show up for us, how or when the money will show up for us. Our role is to work on our energy, our beliefs, take that inspired action, and just allow things to happen, allow things to unfold, and for us to reach that financial goal at exactly the moment that we are meant to receive it. Now, the when, I think this is where people really struggle with the surrender element, because normally when there is a gap between you doing all of the inner work to manifest more money, taking inspired action, when there's then a gap between actually then getting to your financial goals, that's when a lot of people start to doubt. They start to lose faith that the universe is supporting them. They struggle to just let go and surrender. They want to have that physical proof. And then when they don't have the physical proof that the money is already there, that the money is already on its way, they then start to slip back into that uninspired action by hustling more, by doing more. They start to assume more responsibility, thinking, oh, well, maybe the universe isn't paying attention, or maybe I just need to work harder. And again, that just pushes the goal further away. Now, one thing I like to remind our students and our clients is that gap, often we think of that gap, the manifestation gap, as something that is negative. I don't want to have to wait for the money. I want the money now. I want to be able to experience the physical money in my life right this second. Forgetting that gap is actually there to serve you. We sometimes think that waiting for something is a negative thing, but there are going to be so many opportunities for growth within that waiting period. In fact, some of my biggest lessons and breakthroughs and opportunities for growth have come in the times where it's felt like I have really been waiting for my desires to physically show up. Not only because my faith in the universe is being strengthened, when we're having to put our faith blindly in the universe and we're waiting, that's going to show some real strength. We've got to really deepen our faith in the universe in those moments. And when we do that, we deepen our spiritual practice and we strengthen our manifestation powers even more. So that waiting period is an opportunity for you to really build up your strength in the universe. But also, what you may find is that in that manifestation gap, there's going to be things that you perhaps experience that help you grow. So maybe it's setbacks that you're faced with. Maybe it's things that you fail at, or things that don't go quite right for you. Things that you try and they don't work straight away. And again, sometimes it's easy to say, oh, these are just annoying things that happened to me, that have happened to me, without thinking that these are things that are happening for you. These are things that are happening for you. That gap, that manifestation gap, it is there to serve you. You need to remember that the universe will always deliver to you exactly what you want at exactly the moment that you are meant to receive it. And often for us to receive a certain thing and for us to receive it and also be able to keep hold of it, it sometimes requires us to have gone through some inner shifts first. So let me give you an example of this. You, where you're at right now, let's say you want to manifest £1 million and you want it to happen tomorrow. Will the version of you, who you are at, where you're at right now, will you be able to handle that kind of money tomorrow? Will you be able to continue to grow your finances if you receive that sum of money tomorrow? Or would you perhaps lose it? Do you perhaps need to go through more periods of growth in order to not only receive that money, but to be able to manage it, to be able to handle it, to feel okay with that amount of money, to be able to continue to grow that amount of money? A really good example of this is people that win the lottery. So they don't have a manifestation gap. There is no period of waiting. They just, all of a sudden, overnight, they receive a huge sum of money. And they've not had to grow in order to achieve that. They've not had to kind of go through periods of transformations or breakthroughs to receive that money. It's just come into their life unexpectedly. But what's really interesting is the statistics on the amount of people that win the lottery who afterwards go completely broke. They go bankrupt. They're back to square one again. They've not been able to handle the money that they've been given. They've not been able to manage it. They've certainly not been able to grow it. And so what sometimes we fail to realize is that we need to become the woman that we need to become so that we are in that position to not only manifest the money, but also to be able to manage it, to feel good about that money, to be able to handle that money, to not, lose that money. That's going to take an inner shift. And so this is where this manifestation gap, it is happening for you to help you become the woman that you need to become so that once you get the money, once you arrive at that desired goal, it's going to feel really good. It's something you can maintain. It's something that you can continue to grow. And there may be things that you still need to work through, like inner shifts you need to go through. So let me give you an example here. I, for a long time, was manifesting, like my big income goal was manifesting the £100,000 a month. And this was something that I had, been manifesting, and it felt like I'd been manifesting it for quite a while. And I started to really ask myself, like, why isn't this happening for me? Why do I keep falling short of this goal? And, not just falling short by, a few thousand, but actually significantly falling short. And after quite a while of sort of digging into this, I realized that there was still a part of me that would feel hugely uncomfortable with manifesting that kind of money. There was still a part of me that would feel bad for having that kind of money. That would almost feel as if I would be different from my friends and my family. They would perceive me differently if I was having that kind of money. It also felt like a bit of a responsibility to have that kind of money. If I've got that kind of money coming into my life, like I've got to give to my loved ones, I've got to, show up for my community in a bigger way. It felt like a huge responsibility to have, to be responsible for that type of sum of money. So I realized I still had a lot of resistance towards making that money. So let's say, for example, at this point, I would have manifested that money. Chances are I probably would have done a lot to sabotage myself. Maybe I would have given it all away. Maybe I would have spent it. I would have made it only to then lose it again, because where I was at that point, it wasn't comfortable for me to be regularly receiving that kind of money. So I had to go through some shifts, and it was only when I started to really kind of go through some of these shifts that I was then able to hit this financial goal, and not only hit it, but be able to handle that kind of money and also continuously help that money grow rather than just, spending it and for that money to then disappear. So we have to then surrender to when things are going to show up, trusting that we often need to go through these periods of growth or transformations so that we can then get to our financial goal and we can handle it. But how do we keep our faith that we are being supported by the universe and things are working out for us, when we're not seeing that physical evidence? Often we really just want that physical evidence that something is on the way, like things are unfolding in our favor. So just to finish this episode then, I want to share with you a little exercise that you can do. And that is to ask the universe for a sign. So the universe is very good at sending us little subtle nudges that what we want is on its way. So when it comes to money, have a specific sign that you want to see. So it might be, it might be a pink flamingo, it might be seeing a butterfly, it might be seeing a certain type of dog that you wouldn't normally see. Choose something that you wouldn't see like regularly on, a daily basis, something that's a bit more unusual, and have that as your sign. And then give yourself a period of 24 hours and then pay attention. The universe sends you signs all the time, but you have to have your eyes open to them. You have to be paying attention. So ask for a little sign, and let the universe know that this is your sign, that money is on its way to you. Let the universe know what the sign is, and then just open your eyes to receiving that guidance. And as I said, spend 24 hours just paying attention And that's a little subtle wink from the universe that the money is on its way. Now, before we go, I know a lot of you listening to this will perhaps want to dig into the money mindset work at a bit of a deeper level. So I just wanted to let you know that we have a 21-day Money Mindset Makeover course, which basically is a 21-day program that takes you through the process for really transforming your money mindset, your money beliefs, your money energy, and it gives you lots of different exercises that you can do on a daily basis over the 21 days. It is incredibly powerful. The women that have already been through that program have witnessed some incredible money manifestations over the 24 days. So if you would like to access that program, you just need to go to wearetheclick.com/money. And you will be able to find the program there. All right, ladies, well, I will catch you again on the next episode. Have a wonderful day, and I will speak with you again very, very soon. If you are wanting to build your own successful online coaching business, make sure to check out Freedom, Abundance, and Impact, our free 10-day business and mindset course for coaches and aspiring coaches. To access, simply head to wearetheclick.com and click free course in the menu.